I don't know what to say. Hey guys, it's me, Felicia Lizelle, your beauty, fashion, and lifestyle host here on YouTube. Today I am coming to you with a video on how to make your fur babies, specifically your dogs, whole food dog food. So just to give you a little backstory, this is our oldest puppy. Oh my gosh. Her name is Gwenny. She is 7 years old. Gwenny's birthday is March 17th. She's a St. Patty's Day baby. And this is our newest baby, Sumo, who was actually born March 18th. What a coincidence. And Sumo is 12 weeks old. So right now Sumo is getting puppy kibble. And he's getting a canned meat, which I don't really know what's in there. It's supposed to be one of the better foods, but hey. But I've slowly weaned him. Sumo is very rambunctious, so we may not get through this. He's getting his puppy kibble, canned meat, and mashed sweet potatoes and apples right now. And this week I'm going to add in the organic beef that I put in their food. So, Sumo, can you say hi? Say hi. Say hi to the people. Hello. I just went outside to pee. And I stepped in the pee and my mom had to clean my paws. I'm very rambunctious. Okay, this is what he likes. Sumo's gonna get in some puppy classes soon. Look at that. This is what makes him chill. One of the reasons I did this is because Gwenny was a very picky eater when she was a puppy, and I tried every kind of kibble, even the breed specific kibbles, and really no luck. She would eat sporadically, her appetite just wasn't good, and then when I started giving her whole table food, I noticed she did really well. So I would also recommend, just a disclaimer, that you talk to your vet. I am not a raw food proponent. I cook my dog's food. I do leave their beef slightly raw. It's not as well cooked as it would be for a human, but yeah, so talk to your vets if you're considering changing your dog's diet from a kibble to whole food diet. But here we go. Let me put him down and let's get to this video.
So here are the ingredients that you'll need for this recipe. I'll be sure to list them in the description box. And I'm just starting off by peeling all my raw ingredients. You can use a potato peeler or a paring knife, whichever you feel more comfortable with. And normally I would recommend keeping the peels and the skin on because they're packed with nutrients, but these were not organic vegetables, so I opted to peel the skins off. And I'm just cutting my potatoes in big chunks because remember, we are boiling them. And I prefer to use peeled or matchstick carrots instead of regular carrots. They just cook faster. All right, so here we go.
Okay, so you guys saw me cut up all the veggies. I cut the veggies and fruit. I said in the intro that I don't do raw food. I meant raw meat. I don't do raw meat for my animals, but I do keep some raw vegetables in there because if they were in the wild, they wouldn't be getting their vegetables steamed. They would be eating them raw. So now I cut up the sweet potatoes as well. They're in the pot with a few apples for sweetness and some carrots, and we are going to boil those and cook them down. And let me just show you that I don't believe in waste. So here is all the shavings and whatever. I don't have a compost. I'm gonna throw this in the woods behind our house and it will either decompose and enrich the soil, or some little squirrel. We have a lot of squirrels behind our house. Squirrels, birds, and deer live in that woods, so hopefully they will get some use out of this. So we're just gonna set that aside, and we're gonna set our raw fruits and vegetables aside as well. I'm gonna fill this pot with the sweet potatoes and the apples and the carrots up with water. Okay, so we've got our water in the pot, and we're just gonna put it on about 5, like a medium heat, because I don't want it to boil vigorously. You run the risk of cooking a lot of the nutrients out. It's probably best if you actually oven bake all this stuff anyway, but in the sake of time, they are completely out of food and I want to get them their food today. So this is normally my Sunday routine. Sometimes I cook for my dogs and not my family on Sundays. I try not to make that a habit, but I do. So here we go. Now we are going to do their meat. I've been putting beef in their food lately, but they also get salmon and chicken. Well, Gwenny does. And in the fall, I will substitute the sweet potatoes with pumpkin. So, all right, here we go. So you know when you're cooking for carnivores, which is what dogs are, the majority of their diet should be meat. I think one thing that's really good is organ meats is good for them. I went to my butcher. Oh, I'm making a mess. And he didn't have any. So we're just gonna do this organic beef. Excuse the gnats flying around. It's summertime in Georgia, honey. And that is par for the course. Okay. All right, so we're going to put the beef on. Okay guys, so I turned the beef off. It was a little pink, but that's okay. I turned the heat off and it'll still continue to cook from the temperature. But if you take a look, can I get my sexy assistant to, there's a bit of a gravy, which is, you know, basically the fat of the beef. But we're not going to get rid of that. We're going to actually put it in their food and it just adds some flavor to it. We've still got our sweet potatoes, our carrots, and our few apples cooking in there, and I'm actually going to turn the heat down on that because it's boiling a little too much. So I'm going to turn it down low so it can start to steam and it can cook from the residual heat. Then we've got our quinoa over here. Now what I failed to tell you guys last time was that I add quinoa as a filler. You want to try to stay away from grains in your dog's food, especially some of them are sensitive and they have allergies. But this is what I consider a good filler. And a lot of the dog food companies in the industry will add really bad fillers to the foods that are not good for your dog. So I use this, I get it from Aldi. Favorite stores. I try not to use too much of the seasoning packet that comes in here. Actually, I never use it. Every now and then I'll give them like a few pinches of it just for some added flavor, but for the most part they just get the quinoa. All right, so all that's cooking down. We're gonna wait for it to finish and then I'm gonna show you guys how to combine everything. Be back in a second. We're back. I drained the sweet potato mixture and I'm just going to start mashing those sweet potatoes. Could you come get this so they can see what I'm doing? See, I'm just mashing this up. Just use a potato masher. You can use a blender. I wouldn't use a blender because you don't really want it too smooth. You want it to have some chunk. Yes, it smells like I'm cooking a Sunday dinner in here. It's for my dogs. And it's still chunky. There's still some texture in there, which is good. Okay.
Chunky's always good.
Chunky. Alright, so now I'm going to add the quinoa, which, that smells good. I put a little bit of the, put a little bit of the seasoning in there for them. And you always want to make sure the seasoning can be eaten by dogs. And like I said, I think I've mentioned before, there's Wendy. There are a number of resources online where you can check to see if the whole foods that we eat can be consumed by your dogs. But you always want to check that. Of course, you know grapes are a no-no. Raisins, anything like that. Alright, so we've added that in. Gwenny, come. Have an apple. She's hangry. She needs a Snicker. Oh, that's Sumo! Let me go get my baby real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Alright. Is it good? Oh my gosh. Alright, so I normally don't cook with my dogs in the kitchen, y'all. A matter of fact, when you're mashing up your potatoes, just make sure you leave a little texture. They shouldn't be like a souffle. Like, you want some chunks in there. Okay, so now we've got the potatoes, the carrots, the apple, and the quinoa. Now I'm gonna add in the ground beef. And if you'll remember I told you, you know, you're gonna take the fat renderings and it's gonna kind of act as a gravy, and it's just gonna flavor the mixture even more. Woo. Okay, stir that up. And these are all the cooked ingredients. And sometimes when I make this, when I mix it together, I see that there's not as much protein as I would like in the form of meat, and so I'll add different proteins. But you want to make sure there's a lot of meat in here. Alright, come look. One day I made this and it was sitting on the stove and my son was like, "Can I have some of this?" I'm like, "Sir, really? No." Alright. So I'm going to set Sumo's portion aside because I'm not going to give him the raw vegetables just yet. So take one of my recycled pokey. Okay, you can move back. Sexy assistant be on team too much sometimes, y'all. So I'm gonna I am going to take one of my recycled, stop throwing stuff that can be utilized away and filling our landfills, from the Poke Bar. And I'm just gonna put this in here. I'm gonna do one for his serving, and of course this has to cool down. This will be his for the week, because remember, this may even last 2 weeks. I'm still giving him puppy kibble. Until I'm done with that bag, he will be getting both. Now I'm going to take what Gwenny eats, and I'm gonna add all this raw food, which is only fruits and vegetables. I do not do raw meat because, you know, the conversation or the argument is, will they eat raw meat in the wild? But no, it's not processed raw meat that's been butchered and frozen, and it's an animal whose blood was pumping through its veins, and it's not the same as raw meat. So I don't want to run the risk of them getting listeria or any kind of bacterial anything. Even though the gut of a dog is different from a human, just gotta be careful. I'd rather be error on the side of caution.
Hold on.
That's it, guys. We have completed the dog's whole food diet and it looks good. I added all the raw fruits and vegetables while the food was still hot, so it cooked it a little tiny bit, but it still got all the nutrients. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 2 of these empty takeout containers. That's gonna be for the first 2 weeks for Gwenny, and then I'm gonna put the remainder of what's left in freezer storage bags, put them in the deep freezer, and that way for the next 2 weeks I'll just pull this out, let it thaw out, and that's it. My dogs love this recipe. They cannot get enough of it. Sumo, right now he's only on he was only on the apples and the sweet potatoes, and we just added beef this week, and he's still eating his puppy kibble, but he loves the whole food. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you will look into, if you have a picky dog, I swear to you, like, I won't bet the house on it, but they will love this recipe, and you will have a dog who will thrive and who will have an appetite. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next time. Bye.